everybody, my name is Allie, and today I'm going to be ranting about my top 5 guilty pleasure movies. My number 5 guilty pleasure movie would have to be Pokemon the third movie, Spell of the Unknown. While I like most of the Pokemon movies that have come out so far, this movie, for me, sticks out in particular. For a couple of reasons. This movie was the very first movie for the Johto region. Johto happens to be my favorite region in both the anime and in the video games. Number 2, it happens to feature 2 of my all-time favorite Pokemon, Teddiursa and Kingdra. While the movie is very good altogether, however, I think the beginning part that tells sort of the story without giving the entire thing away in like 5 minutes is the most boring part of all. I mean, I understand that Molly just lost her father during a expedition and stuff, and they were getting the information on that. But I just thought that part was kind of boring. And then once you get into the actual movie, oh my god, it's amazing. But I love how this movie and also in the older movies and the other older movies, Pokemon, Team Rocket always has a reference saying, "What are we going to be in the next movie?" Or they will put in a random product plug, like in the second movie, they start talking about joining Weight Watchers because they're slowing Lugia down. That just happened to be one of my favorite parts in the second movie. On to my number 4. My number 4 guilty pleasure movie would have to be X-Men First Class. And now I can just hear the moans, groans, said, "Oh, it's so inaccurate. Allie, why do you like that movie?" I'm like, I do because, well, I mean, I have read the comic books, and yes, it's inaccurate. But just put it aside while you're watching the movie and just enjoy it. But the part of the movie that had me on the floor was the part that Eric and Charles walk into the bar and there's Logan, and they introduce themselves, and then Logan, of course being himself, says, "Go fuck yourselves." I could not maintain a straight face at all during that scene. That just made the movie. Best cameo ever. My number 3 guilty pleasure movie would have to be 27 Dresses. One of the stars is my celebrity crush, James Marsden. And he finally gets the girl. You don't know how long I've been wanting him to get the damn girl. Finally he gets the girl. Because in X-Men he had that love triangle with Logan over Jean, and then he didn't get the girl in Enchanted. Finally he gets the girl. But this movie had me laugh, it made me cry, and every single emotion in between. This movie is awesome. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. My favorite scene in this entire movie. Oh, wow. There's so many. One of them would have to be when James Marsden and Katherine Heigl's characters get horribly drunk. They get up on the bar and start singing Benny and the Jets. Benny! Benny! And now every time I hear that song on the radio, every single time I hear their version of the song. When they sing, "She's got electric boobs," all the time. I hear that all the time. Thank you, 27 Dresses.
Another one of my favorite parts,
would have to be when, of course, those two characters aren't really getting along at this time, and he really likes her, but she doesn't really like him at the time. And he shows up at, I think it was a wedding. Yeah, it was a wedding. That she was helping with the host, helping with the wedding. And she sees him, runs into the other room, and starts screaming at the top of her lungs. And there's like a 50th wedding anniversary going on, and they're all staring at her. It's like, oh wow. Number 2 guilty pleasure movie would have to be Our Lips Are Sealed. Now, I'm one of those people that I'm 22 years old, and I still watch the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. I don't care. They're actually decent. They're actually pretty good. But Our Lips Are Sealed would have to be my favorite movie out of all of them. I was thinking about putting more than one Mary-Kate and Ashley movie on this list, but I decided to just keep to Our Lips Are Sealed. This movie follows Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen to Sydney, Australia, but they're put into the witness protection program after they witness a crime, and they keep blowing their cover. So basically, they're sent to Sydney, Australia, and I'm one of those kids that is like Boomer the little kangaroo that does nothing but sit there and watch cartoons all day. Although, I'm sorry, I do go to school and I do work, and that seems to be my life. But when I'm on breaks, cartoons, old cartoons, or anime. So I'm a little bit like Boomer. And now, it is time for my number 1 guilty pleasure movie. Drum roll, please. Is the Care Bear movies. And no, I'm not talking about the horribly crappy 3D versions that came out in the 2000s. No, put this in front of my face and good things will not happen to you. I am talking about the movies that came out in the 80s before I was born, and I'm sure pretty before most of you were born. The storylines are horribly, horribly corny, but the songs are horribly, horribly catchy, and once you hear the songs once, you will not get them out of your head ever. Just one time. You will not get them out of your head. You'll go through through your day, at work, at school, whatever, and just start singing Care Bears. Just listen to these songs once. This has been my top 5 guilty pleasure movies. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Benny and the Jets. Oh, the wheels are wonderful. Oh man, she's a red cane. She's got electric boots. I'm more than food. You know I'm better than a magazine. Oh, Benny and the Jets.
Great song.
I love the song. Hey kids, shake loose a lemon. Mama turned to one and sing, gonna make a feather.
That's exactly the words. Sorry, lyric police. What are the words?
You're gonna have your hands in music, show the walrus sound.
Walrus sounds?
Take pennies and longer in a cement jet. Ooh, but your soul lays down.
Benny and Jess.
Oh, and the wind and the waterfall. Oh, baby, she's a refuge.